Do you have a friend who always says, "Ooh, I hate people," or maybe you're that person? It's a phrase we hear a lot, sometimes as a joke after a long day, sometimes with a bit more seriousness. But what's really going on behind that statement? Is it possible to genuinely hate all of humanity? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of people who say they hate people. And trust me, it's a lot more complex and a lot more human than you might think. Let's start with a story about my friend. Let's call her Anna. Anna is one of the kindest, most empathetic people I know. She dropped everything to help a friend. She volunteers at an animal shelter, and she's the first to donate to a good cause. Yet, if you ask her about her day after a trip to the supermarket, you'll likely hear her say, "It was awful. I hate people." It seems like a huge contradiction, right? How can someone so caring also claim to be a misanthrope? Well, that's the first big clue. Often, the people who are quickest to say they hate people are actually the ones who care the most. Think about it. To be disappointed by humanity, you first have to have high expectations for it. These individuals often have a very strong, almost idealistic sense of justice, fairness, and kindness. They believe people should be good to each other. They believe we should be considerate, thoughtful, and selfless. But then, reality hits. They see someone cutting in line, being rude to a service worker, spreading gossip, or acting selfishly. This clash between their idealistic worldview and the often messy, imperfect reality of human behavior creates a deep sense of disillusionment and frustration. That I hate people is not a statement of genuine hatred, it's a cry of disappointment. It's an expression of pain that the world isn't as good as they wish it was. It's their heart breaking a little bit every time they see unkindness. This is closely linked to a concept in psychology known as idealism cynicism. Highly idealistic people are more vulnerable to becoming cynical when their hopes are repeatedly dashed. For them, every small act of selfishness isn't just an isolated incident. It's another piece of evidence confirming that humanity is failing to live up to its potential. So when they say I hate people, what they might really mean is, I'm so tired of being disappointed by people. Another major reason is social anxiety or introversion. For someone who is an introvert, social interactions, especially with large groups or strangers, can be incredibly draining. It's not that they dislike individuals, but the sheer energy required to navigate social cues, make small talk, and just be on is exhausting. After a party or a crowded event, an introvert might retreat and think, I just hate being around people. What they're actually feeling is social fatigue. It's a need to recharge their social battery. The statement is a defense mechanism, a way to justify their need for solitude and protect their energy. For people with social anxiety, the situation is even more intense. Social situations can trigger feelings of fear, self-consciousness, and worrying about being judged. To them, people represent a potential threat of scrutiny or embarrassment. Saying I hate people becomes a shield. It's a way to preemptively reject others before they can be rejected themselves. It's a way of saying, I'm opting out of this whole stressful social game. The statement provides a sense of control in a situation where they feel powerless. Now, let's go back to my friend Anna. A few years ago, her I hate people phase got really intense. She had just started a new job in a very competitive, cutthroat office environment. People were constantly stepping on each other to get ahead, taking credit for her work, and engaging in petty office politics. Every day, she would come home completely drained and angry, and her favorite phrase was on repeat. She started avoiding social events, even with friends. She was building a wall around herself. She told me she felt like she was losing faith in everyone. Her idealism was being crushed on a daily basis. The problem was, this mindset started bleeding into all areas of her life. She became more suspicious of everyone, even strangers on the street. She was caught in a negative feedback loop. She expected people to be awful, so she focused only on the negative behaviors, which confirmed her belief, which made her even more withdrawn and miserable. This is where a history of betrayal or trauma comes into play. If someone has been deeply hurt in the past by a friend, a family member, or a romantic partner, it's completely understandable that they would develop a protective shell. A statement like "I hate people" or "I don't trust anyone" is born from pain. It's a survival strategy. If you don't let anyone get close, you can't be hurt again. It's a generalization, of course, starring everyone with the same brush because of the actions of a few, but it's a powerful and common defense mechanism for a wounded heart. So, how did Anna get out of this spiral? It wasn't overnight. The turning point came when we had a long, honest conversation. I didn't try to argue with her or tell her she was wrong. I just listened. And then I asked her, "Do you hate me?" She looked shocked. "Of course not," she said. "What about Sarah or your brother?" "No," she admitted. And that was the key. We started to deconstruct her generalization. She didn't hate people as a monolithic entity. She hated specific behaviors. She hated selfishness, dishonesty, and cruelty. She didn't hate her friends, her family, or the kind barista who remembered her coffee order. The first step for her was to reframe her language, both internally and externally. Instead of "I hate people," she started to pinpoint the exact behavior that was bothering her. For example, "I feel really frustrated when people are inconsiderate in public spaces," or "It makes me angry when I see someone being dishonest." This small shift was huge. It moved her from a state of helpless, generalized anger to a specific, manageable emotion. It's much easier to deal with feeling frustrated by a specific action than it is to carry the weight of hating all of humanity. The second step was to actively practice something called selective attention. Our brains have a negativity bias. We are wired to notice and remember threats and negative experiences more than positive ones. Anna realized she was only scanning for proof that people were terrible. So, she made a conscious effort to look for the good. She started a little mental game with herself. For every negative interaction she saw, she had to find the positive ones. At first, it was hard, but then she started noticing things. The person who held the door open for her, the two friends laughing on a park bench, the stranger who helped an elderly person with their groceries. She saw a group of colleagues helping a team member who was struggling with a deadline, even in her competitive office. The world didn't magically become a perfect place, but her perception of it began to change. She was balancing the scales, acknowledging that while selfishness exists, so do kindness, generosity, and connection. The third and most important step for her was setting boundaries. As a highly empathetic person, she used to absorb everyone's energy and problems. She learned that it's okay to say no. It's okay to limit contact with people who consistently drain her energy or act in ways that violate her values. She learned that protecting her own peace wasn't selfish, it was necessary. By creating healthy boundaries, she stopped feeling so overwhelmed and resentful. She could engage with the world on her own terms, which gave her a sense of control back. So, what can we take away from this? If you're someone who often says, "I hate people," take a moment to ask yourself why. Are you an idealist who's feeling disappointed? Are you an introvert who's socially drained? Are you feeling anxious or protecting yourself from past hurts? Pinpointing the root cause is the first step toward feeling better. Try reframing your thoughts. Instead of a blanket "I hate people," identify the specific behavior that's upsetting you. Practice selective attention. Actively look for the good. You might be surprised by how much of it is out there. And most importantly, set healthy boundaries to protect your energy and your peace of mind. And if you have a friend who says this, don't dismiss them or call them negative. Understand that it might be coming from a place of deep caring, pain, or exhaustion. Be a safe space for them. Listen. and maybe gently help them see the exceptions to their rule IQ. Ultimately, saying I hate people is rarely about actually hating people. It's a complex signal, a symptom of something deeper. It's a sign of a sensitive soul navigating a messy world. It's a sign of someone who wishes, more than anything, that they had more reasons to love it. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories and your thoughts on this topic. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind. See you next time.